Well, hello, fluffer schnoots. Okay, so when I record, I am about 15 decibels from the peak. Now I can see OBS as I record. Come on, baby, don't make noises like that. Egee doesn't want any more technical difficulties. Ooh, look how white my fur is. Yeah. That looks great. Wow, it's been getting dingy. And I think that it also, it shows in the blanket also. It's very white. And that's because I cleaned us. I dipped into the washing machine with the blanket. And this table doesn't typically make noise. Oh, it's pushed up against that. I didn't notice that. That must be why. Here, let me move you. Yep, that was probably why. Oh no, it's lower now. Okay, well, this is a I almost need to. This is a terrible height. There is no. If I stand up straight, I'm all the way up here. And I bet if I kneel, yeah, I'm down here. This might not. Actually, this might be better. I might just kneel. All right, you got Egee on his knees. Okay, this one is the one I'm worried about falling out. Oh, that startled me, actually. Very jumpy. Okay, I can point you down. Hi. Okay. That's about as far as it goes. Okay. Well, this isn't terrible. Oh my gosh. I'm fighting. That'll have to do. I'm back. This is really, really scuffed because I am on a super duper ultra time limit. I believe this is the first ramble on the YouTube. I could be wrong about that. Did I ramble? I don't know. It is 6:49 a.m. and I get up at like 5:30-ish, I think. But my day starts at 7:30. 7, really. 6:30 if I could get away with it. But my work hard starts at 7:30, so I have less than an hour to record this. And I mentioned this in, I think, the last ramble that I think was a Fluffer Schnoot special, that I always underestimate how much work it is to set up for these. I think back to when I was doing Egee full-time for all intents and purposes, and I would often leave the set up, or even if I didn't, I would move it, and I would be like, I'm recording from a new spot. I did not appreciate at the time that setting up portion was like an hour alone. Maybe sometimes more, because of what was like. I recorded in the garage one time, like, dude. Now that I don't have the time, it takes, I even set up for this shoot last night. Like, I got the table out and I put Egee in the wash and I got everything going, and it still took me like 45 minutes to set all of this up. And that's not even including the hopefully 45 or so minutes that this piece will take to record. I didn't realize, like, until I didn't have the time, I did not realize how much time it took to produce these. I just do it because I enjoyed it. But now I'm like, I'm gonna be honest, like, I have a Patreon and I've got, the YouTube, like, algorithms going on. Like, you can't just take a break. You have to be like, okay, I gotta produce. The holidays come around once a year, so Vampire Egee had to come out. But also, life decided to play a really goofy game on me again. I don't know why I am the jester these days, the past half decade, but it really decided to goof me this year because so during the summer, right, I'm diving into rambling, and thankfully I have a timer right there, so I have a lot. I haven't rambled. I have not done a ramble in months. And I have so much to pop off about, but I don't have the time. So I've got to stay focused. The whole point of this video, and I'm missing a prop actually. There he is. I want to tell you about how goofy life is and how it always has these fun little games in store for me. But I bought these. He kind of makes good noises, doesn't he? But I actually bought some stuff last month. Oh, that's his butt. I didn't mean to do that. This is a skeleton. You call him Bony Bob, and he's looking very skin and bones. No, not even no skin. No skin and just bones. He makes good noises, actually. I'm surprised. Oops. I have to cut that out. Remember to cut that out, future Egee. When you hit the microphone. There's usually enough noise going on when I do stuff like that it's easy to cut out as long as I keep the noise going. You don't even notice it. I've gotten pretty good at this sound crafting. And I know when to put cuts, like if I'm speaking. That's actually a trick I do when I produce role plays. It's not always easy to get a perfect soundscape, and you have to cut stuff out. And when it's like background noise and room tone, a lot of times when you cut stuff out, it comes across as like a pop or a blip. And I don't think most people notice it, but audio aficionados definitely do. And I don't want not even one in my pieces, because like you're gonna. If a lot of people listen to anybody's ASMR, but like if you're going to listen to my roleplay 500 times, you're probably going to listen and hear imperfections, and I want to try to minimize those. So if I do have a cut or a gap or an imperfection, I try to do the cut in a seamless way with like a fade, and if I can't, then I will simply do the cut while I'm speaking, because my voice has so much like depth. It's so rich that I can do anything with any other sound happening underneath it, because like my voice is at the top. That's what you hear. And I can modify any of the tracks below where I'm speaking and you won't know. Cool audio engineering stuff. It's fun. I really like it. I hope he sounds good. I hope he sounds good for you. Do you sound good, Bob? Just like plastic bones rattling around. I didn't really do anything for Halloween, unfortunately. I was busy. I didn't even get any trick-or-treaters. Alright, Bob, that's enough. So what we're going to be doing in this one, we're a few minutes in now. Hi, I'm kind of speaking behind you. It doesn't really sound like it though, huh? These microphones, these XL out microphones, they basically just cut the back so that anything you hear is kind of like, I guess it's the sound waves making it through the back, or it's the front capturing it, but they don't have anything on the back. Alright, that's enough about microphones and stuff. So I got some new stuff. This is a candy video. There's your thumbnail right there. I don't like this on the bottom. What? There's a gray flavor in this? What? That's not right. What's this? Okay, yeah. Yeah, that'll do. That seems like a good thumbnail. Now, if you're familiar, I had to stand up there because I can't kneel forever. If you're familiar with Egee's candy-a-thon that I do around Halloween, candy sticks. I don't know what these are. I've never had them. I have others that you may be familiar with, but these ones you are not familiar with because I've never had them. I'm going to take a sippy of my beverage, actually, because I didn't drink much of it because I was setting up. Egee's having a lot of sweets. So check this out. Rock the Holiday? Is that what it is? But let me turn it the other way so you know what this is. Yeah, Rock the Holidays. This is a coffee shop. If you want to know what Egee's drinking, and this is not an advertisement, but go to this coffee place and get a caramelizer Dutch freeze. Okay. It's very tasty, and that is why I have not done a coffee video. That and also time. But I have not been making coffee because I have been sipping on those. I have much less space to work with. Like right here, look at this. I have not a lot of space these days. I thought that this area that I'm recording in would be great, and I think that it is. But there's not a good place for the camera. I thought that I'd be able to kind of rig something up, and that's part of what I spent time on. So the next time I record, if it's here, I won't spend a bunch of time looking for a place to prop up the camera. But yeah, I usually have it further away and then zoomed in, but it's literally like right there. Like I'm reaching up and basically touching you, so you can see how close it is, and I just don't have a lot of room to move. Oh my goodness, I have an itch. So, you know, a funny thing that I'll talk about now, kind of all over the place with these, but you know how my Egee rambles are. Come here. Come here. So because it was pointed down, it was very loud. And I've mentioned that I can't get a good feel for the true virgin sound that these microphones capture, because while the Yamaha Egee 06 is magnificent as an audio interface, the sound that I hear in the monitors is not what I hear in the recording. And it's notable because my old Behringer Euphoria 202 HD, that was perfectly one-to-one. Perfectly one-to-one. What I heard in the monitors was the exact same as what I hear in Audacity. But what I'm hearing right now is, I don't know how to describe it. It's not good. It's fine for a monitor, but like I wouldn't let you listen to this. It's just weird. I think it's on purpose for the purpose of monitoring. That's why, like, I hear the frequencies perfectly, but it's not pleasant. If that makes sense. I think these are pixie sticks, and I actually don't like these. Oh, I was going to mention. So, how should I mention this, actually? Let me think. Let me put it this way. 2026, next year, will be bringing with it several goodies, including a pair of new white paws, a pair of new white Egee paws, actually sounds pretty good. Yes. Okay. I love them. I love Scooby, and I love Jerry, and I love Tom, and I love Dino, who is underrated, and I'm quite pleased that Dino is in there. The Flintstones. You never hear too much about them. Although, are they here maybe because they're like redoing it or remaking it or something? I don't know. Egee does not follow popular culture. Whoa, these aren't pixie sticks. Are these candy cigarettes? They must be. What else could they be? So what I was saying about the mixer, this does not sound good to me. Like if I was just recording, trying to get a feel for ASMR, and I was like, what sounds good? This would be completely wrong. But I trust that this sounds good. Like I'm trusting my intuition on this. It's like the low end is missing. There's no bass at all. It's only high and mid. Because I think what would make this sound good is the bass. You could hear it rolling and thumping. Well, now I'm starting to get inside my own head. Maybe it doesn't sound good. Let's put those away. If that sounded bad, I'm sorry. I'm doing my best, man. Now. So, I'll kind of give you a bit of a spoiler. And I think I am already... Well, that's fine. So they're little candy joints, I guess. But yeah, I'd call them candy cigarettes. They look like joints to me. Oh. Oh. Mm. Okay, so there it is. Now I taste it. So what I was telling you about before, about life being just a goofball. Oh my gosh, I hope that's not too loud. It doesn't hurt. I don't know. So, I was working this job all year. And it was okay. It was okay at the beginning of the year. And by the summer, it just took a huge dump. And I was really unhappy. So I talked to my boss. I said, dude, no, this is not the way. We talked a little bit. And then in August, I think really July is when I decided that I was going to bring Egee back as well, just start Egee. In other words, ASMR. And I said, okay, we're going to do September. We're going to make like autumn Egee. These are my favorite. You know, I'm actually not very hungry. So I don't know how much candy eating I'm going to do. I mean, I have my... Is this a candy video or Egee drinking Dutch freeze video? Because I'm going to drink more of this. So, but anyway, that pigging sound was my headphone cable, which I'm going to hopefully do away with at some, hopefully 2026 really. I found a style of Bluetooth or like Wi-Fi, wireless, some kind of adapter that will let me monitor wirelessly, which has traditionally been very difficult. Anyway, I digress once again. So I said September seems like a good time to come back onto the YouTubes, bring you back into the fold of Egee, his relaxation. But then my boss goes, "Oh yeah, there's a new place you start. You can go. You can work there." I could have said no, so it's like okay, but it also happens in September. Okay, that's, you know, I'll find a way to make it work. And then I also decided to start in September, open for commissions. And that was a September. So basically, it's just like a perfect storm. And then to top it off, I get COVID, and not just COVID. Like I got COVID last year, if you remember, it was in the summer, and I made COVID Egee. BFEG gets COVID and makes you, or you get COVID. Somebody had COVID, and he did the soup thing. But I actually had COVID at that time, and it was pretty bad, but it wasn't the worst in the world. This was worse, and it's arguably still going. I still have a cough, and I had just beat the last one. It's like this persistent cough. I read that the post-COVID cough is also partially in your head, like you're so used to coughing that you feel like you have to cough, so it becomes a habit. So I've been trying to kick it that way, but it's still kind of productive. And I don't know if you're able to tell, but I had to cut right there because we're getting close to when I have to bail, and a notification just popped off on my phone, which is weird because it's on airplane mode. So I don't know how that happened, but yeah. So between starting a new job and trying to get back onto the YouTube train. And this job is hard. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I didn't even really mention how difficult this job was. It's cool though. It is the coolest thing. I have never done anything so cool. And it's also a completely different field. You know, I was DevOps before, which I became so embittered with. I'll rant and ramble about software and what's that noise? Oh, that's the thing. Okay, I'll ramble about that at some other time. But yeah, I'm working on I'm just doing Python development, but it's really, really hard. And I work all day, and sometimes I work on the weekends. Past couple weekends, I have had to work. It's not them telling me that I have to work necessarily, but I commit to a job, and if I say it's going to get done by a certain date, then that's when I do my best to deliver it. And if that means working on the weekend, then that's just how it means. That's the thing. Like if you don't finish your work, For my own being, if I can't finish my work, then that is a me problem. I didn't do something right. I did not estimate correctly. I, didn't reach out to the right people or something. So it changes my perspective. Like the first project I took on there was massive, and it was given to me. I'm like brand new, and they're like, work on this multi-session thing. I'm like, I'm sorry, what? And I didn't even know I was going to be doing development. I thought I was going to be doing QA. I thought I was going to be like testing a product. But instead, I'm a developer developing fixes for the testers that I thought I would be. And it's worked out really well, and it's fun, but it's just like it's literally the opposite of what I thought it was going to be. But it's really, really hard, and it makes me work really long hours. And I literally only have 1 hour to record in the morning for you. I don't think I can get this open. Not without scissors or something. Yeah, I don't... Well, actually, the top does seem like it's perforated. Let me try again. Gotcha. Those the dogs next door? I don't want to stop. I want to talk about... I have one more thing I want to talk about. So if those dogs start barking, please ignore them. I don't know if I've never done that. I always pause when the dogs come out. But this morning, I literally don't have the time for it. So here's some red eyeballs. We're going to call this Egee's Hasty candy video. Wow. The eyeballs really... do they need to come more my way? Hold on. You can't see what I'm seeing. It looks kind of cool. The eyeballs look like mints. And there's a bunch of weird Tootsie Roll colors. There's purple, which is grape. Is there usually a green? And I swear that's a dog. Mystery flavor. All right, I'll try the mystery flavor for you. How's that? Okay, so I have a super duper ultra cute Christmas video in the works. Yeah, that's definitely a dog. Please ignore that. It'll stop eventually. This doesn't even sound... It's the neighbors. They always have these dogs that bark, but that doesn't even sound like one of their dogs. But I know it's there. I know that's where it's coming from. I'm going to be honest, I can't tell what it tastes like. Yeah, this time COVID was really bad. I lost my sense of smell completely, and I still don't have it back. I can taste something, but I can't place it. It's not licorice. It's sweet, whatever it is, like a berry. I'd almost say blueberry. But I don't trust my nose. I don't trust my sense of smell. Lately it's been salt. I haven't been able to taste salt at all. Like I made curry last night, and it was pretty good. And I had to put salt on it, and I still couldn't taste it. And I was like, dude, if I can't taste it, then I'm just like loading it up with salt. I put a little on there, but I could taste the curry, but it was just super bland, which is weird. Yeah, it sucks. I've heard that's the worst symptom of COVID. I think I'd agree with that. It really affects your quality of life. Like, we get so much enjoyment from eating flavors, and it's just gone. What is that? Let me try something that I know what it is. That way I have like an index. What is this? Watermelon? That was a really weird sound out of nowhere, wasn't it? Just all of a sudden. Ah. Okay. No, that's watermelon for sure. Okay. Yeah. That's good. I like those. Okay, I'm going to call that the gray one blueberry then. Yeah, here's one. So, unfortunately, I really do have to wind it down now. We get about like half an hour long ramble. Kind of two last things I wanted to ramble about. I want to get this out to you. And I know that I mentioned that like there is a little pressure to get it out, and it's not a bad thing. I don't feel like I'm under the gun. I feel like it's a good pressure. Like it motivates me because I want to produce and deliver and provide nice and relaxing sounds to my sweetheart, Flufferschnoots. So it's not bad. What was I saying before that? That was important to get off, though. It's nice. I'm on, you can, I am syndicated all over the internet. You might be watching this on Spotify. If you are, leave a comment. You might be watching this on YouTube. If you are, leave a comment. You might be watching this on, I guess you could be in Discord, or you could be on my website, which is going to become more predominant next year. I just haven't had the time to sit down, but I take pretty good vacations, holiday time at the end of the year in November, and basically I'm going to try to take like the last 2 weeks of December off. So I'll have lots of time to get everything ready and kind of launch off. But right now things are slow because the biggest thing is the job, really. It's not bad. The last job was not mentally draining, but soul draining. And it also did not pay particularly well at all. And it was asking for more and more and more of my time, which was frustrating. This job is just like it's a regular full-time gig. It's not like a weird, like, just consultancies. They're like can be like that. They're dynamic, I guess. This one is just like you work for this person now. Like, okay, on it, and I do whatever they tell me to, and that includes like feature dev and stuff. But it's really fun, and pays like a full-time job. So I'm finally like I can focus on that, and then I've got to figure out where my hobbies fit in, and that's been the hard part. I talked about that on Mastodon. I'm like, I guess I'm kind of on hiatus with the hobby channel because I don't have time. I don't know when I'm gonna. I like my tech hobbies, and I like making videos and stuff, but I just have to pick and choose. I don't have the liberty of doing it all at this point, so I've been doing a lot of coding on my personal time, and I've been doing a lot of writing on my personal time. In fact, my weekends have devolved into Egee wakes up, he goes to the gym. I finally got myself back into the gym. I was on a roll during the summer. I went almost every day in August, and I did cardio, and on the weekends I'd lift. I was doing really good. And then I got COVID, and it completely knocked me down, and here we are in November, and I am still trying to get back up. But I go every weekend, and it's been really good, and I come home, and in the past I would jam out on my guitar and do just kind of musical creative stuff. But that has changed into writing like all day. All day. It's getting like, it's gotten to the point where I make plans to do housework because there's a lot of stuff I need to do around the house, but I spent a weekend, Saturday and Sunday, just writing all day. And it was the best, man. It was the most cathartic experience. But it was, the catharsis was kind of taken away because all my responsibilities were waiting there when I came back from Cloud 9, and then work was on Monday. So I was like, I really can't do this because I'm just borrowing from future me. And now next week is going to have double the housework. So I'm still figuring out how to balance it all. But my heart has really been in writing. And you will see, in fact, if you watched and listened to Vampire Egee, that was some of the fruits of my writing. Not directly. I actually didn't write anything for that roleplay. That was completely ad-libbed. But my mind was in that space. Like, in my brain, when I was setting up for that roleplay, I was in my story. I was an Egee in my story. And that is why it was so... It just flowed out of my maw. Like, oh, okay, we're Vampire Egee, and you are... some stranger that has come backstage, and voila, there you go. The only thing that didn't come out naturally was the last part with the musical instruments, and it sounded better in my head, but I really need like an acoustic guitar to pull something like that off. And who knows, that might happen next year. But it is 7:25 now, and I must depart. I hope that you fluffer schnoots have a marvelous November. I will be back before the end of November, I promise. I don't know if it will be a ramble or something else, but this is not my only video. If you want to catch up and get the very latest Egee, you can go to my website, egee.xyz. That's the main canonical source for Egee. Second in line is Discord, my hobby Discord. I also have a Patreon. And my public stuff outside my website is syndicated on YouTube. That's actually where most of my videos are hosted. And I also am on Spotify now. Just like YouTube, it's like the exact same thing. It's kind of neat, actually. It's good to see some competition with YouTube. Mr. Monopoly. Alright, anyway. Now I have a mess of candy to clean up. And I'm already out of time. Alright, fluffer schnoots, it's been wonderful. And I hope that you have a phenomenal, fabulous, wonderful week ahead. And November, like, December and everything else. Anyway. I didn't really rub your ears at all. Guess I'll have to do that next time. Bye-bye.